Do you see consumer segment groups becoming more fragmented, or do you see them just coalescing into different types of groups?
Well,
And does it transcend age and gender?
it depends how you segment the audience because I mean I think where there's a lot of room for creativity and where you're seeing a lot of new data sources, things like data fusion out there, uh, is that ability or looking at what are the opportunities to go kind of beyond segmenting in the traditional way. Nielsen has done a lot of stuff out there in terms of fusing their TV databases with different kinds of data beyond that. There's also a company out there that Mediavest is working with called TRA that really looks to target in terms of things like product purchasers. That instead of using traditional age-sex demographics, they are creating a database involving shopper card information. So there are a lot of opportunities, and I think what's happening is that while 20 years ago, age sex was kind of the accepted norm for how you would target your audience in terms of who you wanted to reach. Now I think everyone is a lot smarter and realize that there are a lot more different dimensions to people than just how old they are. And I think what's happening in the industry now, and while you're seeing a lot of these new services like TRA, like Nielsen Data Fusion, is really that recognition that there is a connection and a different way of segmenting the audience and trying to understand their media habits.
So, Tom, how do you use TRA?
Well, the agency was one of really the early supporters of TRA, which I really have to give it to them that they were out there in the forefront. They recognized the value of it. I think what is really unique about TRA is kind of twofold. Part of it is they provide set-top box information. And where I think they've kind of made the leap is that it's really national set-top box data. That it isn't just local in one or two markets. They are truly trying to go out there and come out with a national sample, and truly develop that. So that I think is a major step forward. And as I say, I mean the agency supports that. The other part of it is in terms of targeting. Because they have a sample of shopper card participants, what they are able to do is really segment the audience in terms of if you're buying a particular product, but also in terms of usage. Are you a heavier purchaser? Are you a light purchaser? And one segment that the agency has come to realize maybe an intriguing one to pursue further is that idea of potential switchers. That are you inclined to perhaps if you buy one brand one week, could you be moved to another advertiser? So that may be a target that may be of interest to some advertisers. The idea of a switcher, that you're not locked into your loyalty, and that under certain circumstances you may be a good target that some clients may want to pursue. Again, that's kind of something new that's being brought to the forefront, because again you have being able to target in a unique way, being able to look at TV viewing habits at a fairly granular level because of the set-top box data. And as I say, I mean the agency was one of the first to pursue that. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more work to truly understand the full value of that. But it's something that I think should be on a lot of people's radar.
Tom, you mentioned set-top box data. Where do you see the future for set-top box data?
Well, I think where the opportunity lies is obviously because it is granular and you could go down to the second by second. That maybe someday the idea of commercial ratings. We're not there yet because I mean Nielsen right now is still measuring at the average minute. So commercials obviously begin and end when they do, not on the Nielsen clock minute, which means you could have half a commercial in 1 minute and half in another. So where set-top box data obviously is opportunity is that idea to truly get a read on truly the commercial audience for a 30-second spot or 15. So that I think is interesting. Also, what is interesting is probably to be able to get a sense more insights into things like retention and flow of the audience as well. That where within a program, do they tend to kind of tune out, tune back in, and really more at a granular level to truly get an understanding. Like anything in life, be careful what you wish for, because by its very nature, by being more granular, obviously the volume of information that researchers now have to deal with, is so much greater. So while it's something that I think eventually will provide truly new insights, it is going to take a lot of data digging and mining, because your data set now is a lot larger, and by necessity there are going to have to be new creative solutions to come out there to be able to handle data in those kind of large quantities.